Three, two, one. Hello, everyone. It's Victor Martin with Reviews in the West. Hope you all are doing well. Today, I am joined by two very special guests, Greg and Nick. You want me to refer to you as Nick or Par in this?
He calls me both, but it's whatever you're comfortable with, man.
He goes by Nick. Par is just his
Nick, yeah, it's like my
alias.
alter. Yeah, it's just a stage thing, I guess.
Maybe I'll mix it up throughout the episode to keep you on your toes.
There you go. I like that, man.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have a podcast. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. War with Cinema.
Hell yeah! Where can this audience find you guys?
We are on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and I've tried to link it so you can find it in any really podcasting thing. So if you search War with Cinema, you should be able to find us.
Yeah, there are so many sites. I
There
was like,
are.
holy shit. Like, I'm just going to keep to the big five, the big four. And just
Yeah,
like,
I was the same way. They were like, you got to subscribe to everyone. And I'm just like, no.
It's like the chances of someone using I host this on Podbean. I don't even know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I'm like, who the hell uses Podbean?
Yeah, exactly. I have a friend that uses Podbean, and I'm like, well, what is that?
I've watched all y'all stuff on YouTube.
Okay, right on.
That's where I'm at. I'm subscribed.
Yeah, I usually just listen to you guys on Spotify, but it was cool to see you guys do video.
You know, crazy thing about the video is I started out with audio, and then everyone's like, you got to put up video, and then nobody watches it. So it's like I'm doing all this extra work for nobody to watch it, but whatever.
You're giving the
What are
people
you talking
what they
about,
want,
bro? You
but-
show my good side and everything, man. That shit is not wasted at all. But yeah, I love our YouTube.
Yeah, you got to just keep doing it. Why not?
Yeah, it's just fun.
Eventually,
it's
they'll
a-
come to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think of it. But like the
Cool.
podcasting side is where we get most of our listens, so that's cool.
Well, we have another show too. We just got started. We've only done a couple episodes, but because of COVID,
yeah?
it kind of threw a wrench in that one.
Oh yeah.
Because I have a YouTube channel and I collect stuff and
That's right.
yeah. So, but like I said,
Shameless plugging
people-
yourself.
well, I'm just saying, people, but I'm just saying the whole premise of the show was to go see other people's collections, and
Right.
obviously due to COVID, it's hard to get out there with
Yeah.
people right now.
Yeah, and I remember you mentioning that channel in another podcast or another episode of yours. You can plug that as well if you'd like.
Part of the collector. All episodes are on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
That's the only place.
He puts
it's on.
up like a video like once a year, but it's
That's
great,
yeah, I used to be much more,
consistent.
yeah,
Well, I assume it's
Life
pretty
gets in the
difficult
way.
to do that now, though, right?
It is. It's difficult.
yeah. It's a lot of hoops to jump through more than it used to be.
Well, as long as you don't give up.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I
never,
tell
man.
him.
Nah, he knows this is this is what I was doing before I did this, but I love this too. This is another passion of mine.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I asked you to bring on a couple films, and what films were those?
We came in with some heat, Victor.
Hell
So
yeah,
You
did.
you just need an excuse to talk about Goodfellas, dude.
I'm
Don't you?
sorry, man. Goodfellas is like the greatest movie of
Yeah,
all
you
time.
just take from the top shelf, like no
Yeah.
subtlety at all.
Yeah, man. Like give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hits,
And you asked for a double feature, so double feature
Yeah.
to me is like two films that kind of like go with each other. I wanted to talk about Sucker Punch so bad because he
But I would have
hates it.
sucker punched you.
Yeah. But it doesn't really go with Goodfellas, so I picked
Not at all.
Gangs of New York for a
Mhm.
Scorsese double feature.
Yeah,
God,
man. That's actually one of the first things we bonded over as friends was we both love Scorsese.
Speaking of, like, it's called War with Cinema because that's all we agree on is Scorsese. Anything
Yeah.
out of Scorsese, we just fight about.
Pretty
'cause-
much.
dude.
And Tom Hardy, our love for Tom Hardy,
Right.
that's about it.
okay, that's fair. But yeah, man, Scorsese. It's just, I think anytime you watch a Scorsese film, there hasn't been a bad one that I've seen of his. I've seen a good majority of his movies, but like anytime I put one on, it puts me in a good mood.
Right.
They are just on another
Best
level.
of the best.
I thought I had seen the majority of his movies until Greg, being as good as he is and doing the research, he dropped some knowledge on me a couple weeks ago. I think he was naming off these Scorsese movies. I was like, I've never heard of any of this shit, like
Right.
none of it. And he's like, I kind of want to watch them all.
And it's funny, like
Mhm.
his body of work is you'll find movies that you didn't know he did unless you're like a Scorsese like savant. But
Yeah.
like Color of Money, I didn't realize that was a Scorsese film. But
Oh,
I
for sure.
didn't either, but I like that movie.
yeah, it's a great movie.
I do like that movie a lot.
And then what's another one? I was gonna pick this one, but I decided not to. Cape Fear.
Oh,
Oh, Cape Fear's pretty underrated.
Yeah, he did Cape Fear.
dude, De Niro and him have just like been paying mortgages, son.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah, hit after.
Wow.
Would you guys say that Goodfellas would be a favorite of yours?
Oh,
amongst
it's
his
my
films?
number one for sure.
Yeah, I lean more towards Casino because I feel it has
Wow.
more of like an artistic vibe to it.
More kills too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I still love Goodfellas. Like it goes hand in hand. One thing that Nick always says, he's like, between Goodfellas and Casino, the one that's my favorite is the one that I just saw recently.
Yeah, pretty
Dude,
much. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Because I'll be Goodfellas all day, and then as soon as I see Casino, I'll be like, you know what? God damn it! I think you're back at number one,
Right.
You know,
It's
But,
way too hard to pick like a number one, honestly. But,
Absolutely.
yeah, his top 5, 6. It's just like, yeah, really.
I haven't
how you
seen
pick one.
Casino. I need to see that soon.
Oh my god, bro!
I mean,
I
it's
know,
basically Goodfellas, but it's just a continuation of Goodfellas.
It's the mob life, but it's pretty much how they took over Vegas.
Yeah, right.
You know, and they change a couple names and stuff, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
really good. I love Casino.
Great movie.
Did you guys like The Irishman?
I love The Irishman.
Yeah,
we
I
were
thought-
actually just talking about that before we started. Before we got on,
Right. I watched it in pieces. I want to sit down and watch it all the way through.
And that's what I told him. I love it because these are my type of movies, crime dramas and gangster movies. That's my wheelhouse, you know. And I just feel like they could have trimmed some fat off of it, you know. And I think it would have ran better. It would have been more flowed better, I guess. You know, the movie.
That's fair. Yeah, one thing about Goodfellas that surprised me for being 2.5 hours long is that, like, at least to me, it does not feel like there's a dull moment whatsoever.
There's not a wasted frame
Holy
of
shit.
this movie.
Yeah,
There
it's
really is
Scorsese's
not.
best. It's
Everything
his
has
creme
a
de la creme.
purpose. Like,
Yeah.
this is what they will remember him for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's got to be tough as a director, knowing that you can't outdo
But
it.
not only that, I was telling my wife, like, I have a bunch of movies, obviously, because I love movies, but I have a Scorsese shelf, like all
Nice.
his movies. And I tell my wife, I'm like, look at all these movies that one man did these movies. Like, how mind blowing is that? This guy is, I don't know. So
It's
yeah,
just like, it's one of those people that when you meet him, you just bow down, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I pull
yeah.
a Wayne's
not
World
worthy.
for
We're
sure.
not worthy.
I'm not worthy. Like,
Yeah, honestly, like when The Irishman came out and it was getting a lot of hate, and there was like that Marvel and Scorsese debate happening, I was like, I must protect Grandpa Scorsese at all costs.
Definitely, yes.
This man is
like one of the greats.
Oh man,
That's another reason I picked Gangs of New York because it I feel like it catches a lot of heat. Like it's like people talk bad about Gangs of New York, and I feel like it deserves a little bit more praise because I think it's a great film that's underappreciated.
yeah, it's another one. Like I said, we were talking about that earlier. It's another one. I feel like if you trimmed a little bit out of it, it would have, you know, because people just have a short attention spans nowadays. They want their movies fed to them.
Right. Yeah, not a lot of people are going to sit down for 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Unfortunately.
Like films, you know, because I feel like there is a difference.
There
you know,
is.
there's movies and then there's films.
Yeah, definitely. So, why did you pick Goodfellas? Like, what do you want to say about this movie that hasn't been said?
I just want to say this. Like, I feel like years from now, people will still be talking about how great this is, and they'll still be picking out little nuances that nobody's picked up on before. Like, I heard Bill Burr, comedian of all people, talking about Goodfellas, and he said that the red light on the scene where they're about to bury Billy Bads when they execute him.
Right.
yeah,
He said that's like kind of like a motto for like how they're the downfall of their crew after that. Like the red was there, like, you know, showing that they were done for or whatever. But
That's a good analogy. I never looked at it that way.
Like
Yeah.
Bill Burr of all people, you know.
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
Bill
Like,
Burr is an intelligent man.
I'm
He
not
just
saying
comes
he's
off
dumb
as
just
like,
because he's a comedian or anything,
Right.
but like,
just kind of the last person you expect, though.
yeah, exactly. Like that's just not something that you'd think of him. But yeah, I just like, it's just one of those movies that it just keeps getting good. Like it doesn't matter what part it is, where I'm at, what I'm doing. If that thing is on and it catches my eyes, I'm gonna watch it to the end.
Yeah,
For sure.
And that's probably like if I had to pick a favorite movie, it's definitely in my top 5
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, but and there's just little things about it that are so cool and make it so personal to Martin. I'm just calling him that like I know him.
I know, right? Like he's your best friend.
Marty. Yeah, he likes to be called Marty. I
Oh,
don't even
Marty.
know why I said Martin. You know, me and Marty, we
He
golf
calls you
together.
up. He's like, thanks for the shout out.
We go way back.
Irishman didn't do as good as I hoped. Oh, thanks for the shine. Appreciate you. But like the fact that his mother plays Tommy's mom.
Oh
she
yeah.
also plays a part in Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that was
she has
really
a few
cool.
cameos, I believe.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff of his earlier, and the fact that his dad played the guy that killed Tommy and also played Vinny in prison.
Oh really?
Yeah, and his mother used to iron all the actors' shirts, so it would look like they just put on fresh shirts in every scene.
That is adorable.
You know what I mean? It's just little things like that I think is so cool. And like, she didn't have to do that, but like she wanted to help. She believed in her son. Like, that's amazing.
That is.
That's beautiful.
And it just makes this movie that much better. Like,
it does.
Little things. Sam Jackson, back when he was called Sam Jackson, not Samuel L.
Right.
He got us break in this movie. Like he even found a way to be in this great movie. Sam Jackson's in every great movie. But he found a way to slide into this one too.
This is only my second time seeing it, but I completely forgot that he was in it. Just like, wait, what?
Yeah, he plays Stax.
Yeah.
You get to watch Joe Pesci blow his dome off like 2 minutes in. That's like the last of his screen time.
Right.
But that's what's so great about it. Like, Scorsese has such an eye for talent. Like
he does.
He saw that, and I'm like.
And what I love is all the actors bring their A game when they're working with Scorsese. Like, nobody phones it in. You're not phoning it in with Scorsese.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like I don't even think they have the balls to disrespect that.
Exactly.
No, there's no way.
You're going against, you know what I mean?
So it's just everybody on their A game. That's what makes this movie so great.
Especially too, since quite a handful of them are like his regulars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were just talking about how like him and Robert De Niro just like make hit after hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like I couldn't believe that he hadn't worked with Pacino before The Irishman. Like that blew my mind.
Right?
Oh, De Niro?
No, Pacino.
Oh wait, Pacino. Oh, Pacino.
Oh,
right,
Pacino didn't.
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa. That was the first time they'd ever worked together.
That's right.
And Pacino's a great gangster actor. I love The Godfathers, and I love Scarface. Like Scarface is another top 5 of mine. Like
Heat.
I was just about to say Heat. But that's another thing with De Niro and Pacino. They were in Heat, but they have one scene or 2 scenes together.
Yep.
That diner, and then when he kills him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Wow, right.
Sorry, bro. I assumed everybody has seen Heat, dude.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Heat,
I bought it like 3 years ago.
It came out like 88.
I'm like, one day I'm gonna watch this, and then you spoil it. So now
sorry.
I know
bro.
this guy probably hasn't watched it.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Me and him are old. We've seen everything. Like
I know he's pretty young.
We just assume everybody's seen what we've seen.
Yeah.
Like,
how old are you, Victor?
If you don't mind us asking.
No, I'm 24.
Yeah. See, he's still young.
Oh, you baby, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm the youngster here. How old are you guys?
Greg's 47, and
yeah, at least I don't look 47 like you.
And I'm a young 32. Young
Okay,
32.
all right.
I'm 34.
Well, you guys just might have to school me this episode if I get anything wrong. How's that?
No. Anytime we get to talk about Goodfellas or anything Scorsese related, we're down.
Right. Sorry, we like totally hijacked your podcast. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, for real.
No, man, you're good. I don't look. The last guys I had on was kind of similar. We all just kind of vibed, and there wasn't really a structure, so don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
It's all good to go.
Yeah, once we get these mics on, we just kind of ramble on for the long.
Oh yeah, dude. That's totally
I've
fine.
always wondered when I listen to y'all's episodes on YouTube. I've wondered, are y'all all together or do y'all do it from your houses?
I think up until episode like I don't know 15 or something, we were doing it in person, but we've been doing it through Discord for the past like 15 episodes.
Well, I'm sure it's hard to get 4 guys together. Everybody's schedules lining up. That does seem like a little bit more.
It is a little difficult. Yeah. But we,
Yeah, well, that's why he's taking a break. He's doing like interviews and stuff to
right.
fill the gaps while everyone's taking their holidays, which I don't mind at all.
Oh, that's cool.
Gives me a break.
I was just super excited that somebody wanted to, have us on, man. Like this was big for us. This is the first show we've ever done other than our own.
This is
is it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We've interviewed a couple people.
Yeah, we've brought like friends on and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is just our first year doing it, so I really just wanted to like reach out to other people, and because I don't know, there's so many different podcasts that I see on Instagram, like so many different film ones, and it seems like a very, very saturated market, but
really,
still, like I want to take a handful of people I see and just bring them on. I want to join others and just create a little community going.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
was just
that's
talking
awesome.
about that like not too long ago because I have another buddy that does a podcast. What's they're called? Red Rabbit.
Red Rabbit in or
Yeah.
Red Rabbit driving.
Right. It's
Okay.
Slinky's Pond. They do podcasts about like horror movies and stuff, but it's a saturated thing. But I think if you find your own niche and you enjoy doing it, the saturation won't matter because you'll be original. Like that's why I like War with Cinema, because usually when I'm listening to guys talk about movies, they're usually praising movies that they love. But since me
It's
and
just
Nick,
one big circle jerk, like they're just all taking their turn talking
Right.
about how great it is.
but me and Nick can't seem to agree on movies because I like artsy indie films.
This
and
is
he likes
rare air,
Yeah.
Victor. You're getting a rare thing here, man, because me and Greg rarely ever agree on anything.
For
I
sure.
know.
Yeah.
I felt like we were doing a disservice to our own podcast by picking movies we love.
You call it War with Cinema? These guys are pussies. They fucking talk about how much they love this movie.
Or like Peace with Cinema, am I right?
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Yeah, there's not much to like. I don't know. This is my first time seeing Gangs of New York. I've been wanting to see it for a long time, and for a good chunk of it, I was pretty entertained. But I would agree with you that, yeah, definitely some things could be cut. Although, with a story like this and something that kind of takes place, you know, in a span of, you know, how many, like, what was it, 30 years or something, a very long time. I feel like you do need such a long run time to tell this kind of story. And I think what I love about it most is DiCaprio's character, Amsterdam, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just him being side by side with the man who killed his father, and this guy sort of teaching him the ropes, showing him the ways. That's such a cool dynamic, and I love that so much. All while he's kind of plotting to kill this man, and I don't know. It was such an interesting dynamic between those two characters.
Absolutely. Like rewatching it, I was thinking about that whenever he saves his life from the assassination. I was like, how hard would that have been? Because he could have just
Oh my
let him
God.
kill him, but he doesn't. He wants to be the one that kills him.
But that's the brilliance of Daniel Day-Lewis's character in that movie.
Oh my God, can we just talk about Daniel Day-Lewis for a second? Like
Yeah,
this
that
man
guy.
is a fucking genius
He's a
when
goat.
it comes to an actor.
Yeah, he's a goat for sure.
He's so great in this movie.
Yeah, he's up there with the Brandos and shit. Like that
He
dude can act.
he has a scene in this movie whenever whenever Leonardo DiCaprio's character brings back the dead rabbits.
Mhm.
He's like, I just want someone to take care of someone who murdered this innocent rabbit, and he just switches gears so
Yeah.
easily. Yeah,
He
and I
does
was
the
like,
face,
fuck, he's
yeah.
a genius.
Just the little nuances of his character and that when he's eating this raw steak
Oh my God,
of a
he's
cow
bare-
he just butchered in front of this guy.
Right.
He cuts off the piece he wants and he's just sitting down like, nah, just put it on the fire. Nothing. I got this.
He barely touches the grill with it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like literally not even brown. Like throws it down and he taps
Taps
the eye, you know, with the knife.
So did you enjoy this, Victor?
I did by the end of it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I was enjoying it all the way through, and there's so many great scenes, especially that third act and that climax where there's those riots happening in the street, just complete chaos.
that
I was
is
like,
a
holy
big-
shit,
yeah,
this
that's a
is
big
so
moment.
good. He's so
Very brutal.
the staging and like just the overall what's happening in the scene is so complex, and there's so many characters on screen, so much going on. It's really well done. But that last scene where Amsterdam and Cameron Diaz, her character, they're looking over the bay there. They walk away, and then you just see like the city being formed through like being superimposed over each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what the line was that DiCaprio says. Something like something along the lines of like it'll be like no one was ever here, like no one's gonna remember us, sort of thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Like that was just such a perfect ending, and just solidified my my liking for the film. I don't know, like it was very long, but also there's Daniel Day-Lewis's performance, just the overall craft that went in this film. It's undeniably just so well done.
Absolutely. What are you about to say, Nick?
I tell you what made me love this movie so much when I first saw it.
What's up?
This was the first movie. This is the movie that made me realize that I loved Leo DiCaprio as an actor. because before this, listen to me now. Before this, he did the year before he did Catch Me If You Can, and
Great movie.
I love Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
But before that, I didn't. Now going back as an adult, I've learned to love like Gilbert Grape,
Right.
you know. But when I was younger and I saw it, it made me sad because he plays a kid with Down syndrome, and or not Down syndrome, but he plays a slow, mentally challenged
mentally,
kid. And then Basketball Diaries. Like now I look back and I'm like, wow, that is amazing acting out of such a young guy. But at the time, it's just like, wow, like I was a kid when I saw it. So I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like you feel bad, but you don't appreciate it as much. But Catch Me If You Can, he showed that he had some range because after he got, you know, once he became that teen heartthrob, he started doing Titanic, and you know, people talk about how great Titanic is, and I'm just like, a 3-hour movie, like we know what happens. Let's sink this thing and go home. You know what I mean? Like,
get to the point.
I don't care about the love story and all of that. You know, I don't care about any of that, man. Like, literally showed up
after we talked about so many like romantic movies that you like love, but you hate Titanic. Like,
dude, why does it take 3.5 hours to tell that movie?
I don't
explain that to me.
Well, it's what's his name? I can't think of his name.
James Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah.
I
was gonna say John Carpenter. I'm like, that's not right at all. That might have been a good movie.
All of his longer movies have a point and are good. Avatar, amazing.
Nah,
that's 2.5 hours. Amazing. I'll watch that all day. I can't wait for the 7 sequels that's gonna come out for that.
Fucking hated Avatar.
And I love T2 and Terminator.
Well, yeah, those are goats, but
I'm just saying, like, you know.
I watched this film and it gets a lot of hate because it's not historically accurate. It is historically accurate.
I was wondering that.
The thing is he takes different genre, or not different genres, but different times, and like melds them into one. So this takes place over what, like you said, 15 years, but actually these events take part in the whole 1980s, from like the 1830s to like the 1880s. Yeah, so he kind of takes almost 100 years of history and puts it into like a 3-hour film. So
right, and I could see how some people wouldn't like that. I mean, a lot of people are sticklers when it comes to accuracy in media, but
a lot of people also didn't like the fact that, you know, some of it, not all of the dates and everything lined up or the people's names, but the fact that everybody thinks that because people lived in the North, like they were just all against slavery and like they were against racism. You see some brutal racism in that movie.
Not just against blacks, but against
any
any immigrants, but mostly like Irish
race. And it just shows that, like, you know, just because our country, you know, was two-sided, like everybody thought that like it was cut down the line like that. You know, sometimes you just happen to live somewhere else, you still felt the same way as everybody else did.
Right.
But a lot of people don't like that too. One of my favorite scenes of the movie is when his friend from when they were children, and he catches him down there and they start talking. I forget the guy's name now, but it's the redheaded dude.
Right.
The younger guy. But anyways, he's walking him through the 5 points and he's breaking down all the gangs and stuff. I enjoy that scene. Like, it's really cool. And he's like, that's legit. And they're doing it in that thick Irish accent. One of my biggest dislikes of this movie is Kirsten Dunst. Like, and I don't think she's a bad actress, but her trying to pull off that Irish accent is tough to watch, dude. Tough to watch.
It's funny you say that.
Cameron Diaz?
Huh?
Cameron Diaz, you mean?
Cameron Diaz?
What did I say?
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Like, I did not love her in
just
this
making
movie.
sure.
Yeah. Spider-Girl. Or Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, not her.
Yeah.
The Mask. The girl from The Mask.
Right. Yeah. Any given Sunday.
Right. Just naming obscure movies she said.
Yeah. Sweetest thing.
Yeah, I did not love her in this movie. Like, she was fine. I feel like you could have replaced her with anybody. She has such a large mouth. I don't know why I noticed this time around. Whenever she smiles, she has the largest mouth I've ever seen on a human being.
She has 47 teeth.
Right. My favorite scene has to be like the opening scene. It just felt so powerful whenever
hell yeah.
He's getting ready for the battle and they're marching down the halls and that music starts playing. Dude, I just felt so pumped. I was so ready, and the movie just started.
Yeah, this is like opening credit shit.
Right. I love that scene so much.
Oh yeah, and we totally skipped over this. The awesome, best little Liam Neeson part in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in 10 minutes of it, and he kills it.
Yeah,
Like,
best
yeah.
10 minutes.
what does he call them out? Bill, we stand on this ground agreed upon. It goes on the thing. I'm kind of going Braveheart.
Yeah, because
I
what
don't do
it
Irish
what it
very
does
well.
is they're like coming out of whatever they're in.
It's a
and they-
church, but it's like a
Right, it
It's
feels
an
like a
underground
fucking
tunnel
on
mole
top of like
tunnel.
a catacomb. Yeah,
That's what really confused me. Like that tunnel system. I was
it was
just
the
like,
subway
what the
before
hell?
the subway.
Yeah, right. That didn't make any sense.
Just this huge like underground wooden structure.
Right.
I was like, what the?
What's going
What is
on?
this?
I was raised 6 floors below the earth.
That's probably my favorite scene. A good one is when Daniel Day-Lewis is sitting beside his chair or sitting beside his bed in the chair, and he has the American flag.
I was
roped
going to
over
mention
him.
that scene.
Like the way he like delivers his lines, like just felt so real.
I turned 42 today.
Yeah,
42
I
years.
loved that scene.
And
Yeah.
like you said, Daniel Day-Lewis is such a good actor. Like he just fully
He
commits.
does not have a bad part in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
You almost root for him, even though
I
he's
know,
the
right?
worst kind of villain. Like you still almost root for him.
Right, he's like, you stupid N-word, and you're like, yeah, fuck, get him.
This is terrible. Why am I cheering for this guy?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
but he sells it. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
very
undeniably.
I think this is my favorite role of his, personally. I think so.
Really? Okay.
It's
I can
either
totally
that
see
or
that.
My Left Foot. Like he did a good one in
You
that
want to
too.
hear a secret?
What?
I haven't watched a lot of his movies.
Dude, because a lot of them
Yeah.
are like, that's all there is to take away from his God. He acted his ass off in that movie. Like,
Yeah, it's like, but you can't remember the name of the movie. It's like, that was
Yeah.
a really good one.
I've seen There Will Be Blood. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
like that very much.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just
I like it, but it's such a slow burn of a movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's just a very slow burn. Like, I can usually do slow burns, but this There Will Be Blood takes it to like another level.
It is quite long. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I
But his
fell asleep
performance in that
watching
is
that
just-
movie so much. I don't know if I've ever finished it. Sorry, dude.
Well, hopefully you can finish it someday. I was also going to mention that scene where he's sitting beside Leo's bed, talking about when he was being beaten by the priest and how it was like the best beating he has ever gotten,
Oh, right, yeah.
and that the priest said something along the lines of like, he took what he take out his he wanted him to live in shame, and then he like cut out his eye that looked away from him because he felt ashamed from that.
Oh yeah,
God, just that scene is so it feels very vulnerable.
yeah. Because DiCaprio wakes up and he's already scared shitless because he's torn up about how he feels about the guy.
Right, because he gives him the speech of like, you know why I'm so successful? Because of fear.
Mhm.
Like, and then he goes
Right.
down the line to like what he does to people whenever they like cross him.
He's like, I've killed all these people, and he's like almost taken out by a nobody. You know.
Yeah, that is a very good point. That is his like one vulnerable scene, and it's very powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he mentions too about I think he says like that the priest was the only man he killed
He
worth
ever
remembering.
respected. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
He ever killed worth remembering. Yeah, that's a great line. And when him and the older guy, the balder guy, get into it,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and he stops the fight and he like picks up his picture and dusts it off,
Yeah,
puts it up there.
back
To
up,
have
like-
your worst enemy is picture hanging so you always see it to remind you that was the guy that took you the closest to the end.
Mhm.
You know, the one guy that really challenged you.
Right.
That's
He's
just like a respect.
he's your greatest villain, but he's also the man you respect the most.
yeah,
It's
some
crazy.
powerful
It's a
shit.
great dynamic. Yeah.
Really is.
Nick, you were talking about that scene where he's kind of running him down, like the gangs in the area. Like, there are so many different groups in this film. It's really easy to lose track of like who's who and what gangs are in which part of the city. But it was that like intricate world building that I was so impressed by, because there is so much going on. There's so many different groups of people that you kind of want to keep track of, but it's nearly impossible.
It makes me wonder how big that set was. Like how many set.
You know what's funny?
they
I was
would
just
have,
thinking about that.
'cause
I'm
it
like,
feels like a real city.
like I was watching it and I'm like, it doesn't feel like it would have been that big, but the way he shoots the movie makes it feel so much more grand.
Mhm.
But touching on what you said, Victor, fun fact, you know how they had the firemen that fought each other?
Yes.
I thought that was kind of like a joke that Scorsese like threw in the movie.
No, that was a real thing.
That was a real thing.
That's a real
Firefighters
thing.
actually
Really?
fought over fires. Like there were 2 or 3 different gangs of firefighters because they're the ones that got paid for putting out the fires. So sometimes whenever they were battling each other, they wouldn't even put out the fire because they were too busy fighting each other. That was real.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, when one house catches on fire
Yeah.
and like there's nothing to loot.
Mhm.
All right, boys, go to the next one.
Yep.
And yeah, but sir, my house isn't on fire. They just smack the shit out of the woman.
Right. And it's just funny, like everything in this movie, well, most like 95% of the stuff in this movie is factual, but the way it's presented is not factual, like the time it was done and all this stuff like that. But most of the things that happen in this movie really happened.
Yeah, just
Even
not
that
right at
fight in
that
the
moment.
beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
That's the craziest thing. The most true shit is the stuff about the gangs, not so
Right,
much the
exactly.
time it took place, or like I said, the stuff with the firemen. It wasn't necessarily in that little bit, or the stuff about the rigged elections or the draft. Anything. It wasn't all like right there at that same time.
Right. Like
Got
the
it.
fight at the beginning, like not that actual fight happened, but fights like that did happen. Just
But
not.
a gang, the Dead Rabbits, did take on people that considered themselves the nationals, or whatever it was,
The natives or something.
natives. That's right,
Natives.
natives of America or something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Another fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but you know how their top hats are so high?
Mhm.
That the higher your top hat, the more like important you are.
That's
Oh,
cool.
interesting. Okay.
That's why they were
I
so.
feel like
That's
I heard that, but that is still cool.
yeah, that was true. That was kind of blew my mind because I'm like, why are their top hats so high? It looks stupid, but it's for like how important you are.
Is they overcompensating for something?
Right.
I thought some of the plaid suits those dudes wore super sharp, bro. Like I
Right?
still sport
yeah.
that.
Daniel Day-Lewis like killed those outfits. Like I wanted to wear it.
Right. You think they make those in 4X, bro? Because I want one. Like it'd probably just be like a picnic table back, like the I don't know why I can't think of words today.
Yeah. You're too
Cloth,
busy.
tablecloth, bro.
I want you to know he's busy watching the Cowboys game while he's talking to us, so he's not all here.
I am all here. I'm all here, man.
Just the
It's all
fact that we have
commercial.
part of your attention that is good enough for me.
I'm here, bro.
I'm just giving him a hard time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the costume design and the set production design is pretty damn phenomenal. I mean, with most historical films, or not historical, but yeah, you know what I mean. You're gonna always usually get some pretty good production design, but it's just so dense here.
Yeah, they didn't skimp on anything as far as making it look authentic, for sure. It's almost like Scorsese goes into a movie and they're just like, don't even worry about a budget, man. You just tell us how much you want. Like,
Well, he worked his ass off.
oh
to
yeah,
get there,
well his
but,
earlier movies for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I heard from historians that the look of this movie was definitely early 1800s. Like it actually did look like that, but like the later 1800s, it didn't look as like dirty, grungy. But they said that it actually did look like that back in the day. So he did a good job of the aesthetics.
Yeah, like the whole beginning scene, I was trying really hard to imagine that whole beginning fight happening in real life with their clothing and fighting with just a random assortment of melee weapons. It was hard for me to picture that happening in real life, but I guess if some of that's accurate, then that's cool.
well, I don't know about the first one, but I'm assuming it was a similar setup. But you notice they all met up, all the gangs that were in a line meet up, and they discussed. And he's like, guns? And he's like, no guns. And he's like, good boy.
Yeah.
Even though I hate you and I'm gonna kill you, like I just want to let you know, good shit on no guns. Like,
Right.
fight me like
the lady that had the claws and the fangs, she was.
Oh yeah.
It was based off of a real lady. Like she.
Oh, you're
actually
kidding.
Her
she had some
teeth down.
cool kills.
Yeah, it was a real like based on a real lady. She actually.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
She bites that dude in the face. It's awesome.
Whenever I hear somebody like filing their teeth down, makes my teeth hurt. Like,
oh, for sure.
Why? Is it
like,
worth it?
It's like worse than nails on a chalkboard.
Right. Oh fuck. Just thinking about it. Anyway.
Luckily, too many people don't file their teeth down.
Well, here in Florida, it seems like they do it a lot.
Wait, really? This
is
a Florida thing?
I've met a lot of like RP people. What do they call it? LARPing. Live action role playing.
Yeah.
And they actually, some of them do like file their teeth and stuff for their character. pretty crazy, isn't it, Nick?
Hey, that's
Are they a dragon or?
They're just like vampires and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. When you say LARPing, I'm thinking like Dungeons and Dragons. Shit.
Yeah, it's basically that,
Like-
but you're doing it in like me talking to you like I'm a character.
Oh, like in real life?
Live action role playing.
Oh, wow. Those poor fellas need a hug and some friends.
Did y'all win? He's doing a celebration dance. Sorry. It's the only game they've won this season.
the Cowboys.
Victor, you're my good luck charm from now on, dog. We have to talk every Sunday at this time. I hope it's not
I'm
that
here
big
for you, man.
of a man. Like, because they're locked in now.
Thanks.
You're
I guess I'm shop lover. Like,
Yeah, but you're a Green Bay fan, bro. Victor doesn't seem like he has, a team, or at least he hasn't told me.
No, I don't. So I'll go with whoever.
You should go with
whoever
Dallas,
need.
man. We're America's team.
You are. You're right.
There you go, dude. See? Just sounds like destiny right there, doesn't it? Oh my God, bro. This feels so good. I can't wait to call Zach. Oh,
it wasn't the Eagles.
doesn't matter. They lost today to the Browns.
So where did you want to pick this up at? Did you want to?
I mean, I don't know if you want to tell your alligator story again. If you do, that's fine. If you don't, I can just cut
I'll
out the
tell my
whole
like,
alligator question.
alligator story again.
Okay.
So you're talking about Krull.
Yeah.
And I was just saying you were asking if alligators are like that in Florida, and I was saying my dad worked on an alligator farm where he like raised alligators, and he taught me about them and talked about how like scary they are. So it made me terrified of alligators. But just to let everyone know, alligators are not like that in Krull. They'll like run away from you. They don't want to have anything to do with you. So just a heads up.
Okay, that's good to know. They get pretty large too, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get huge, and that's what's like terrifying. But it's not gonna fuck with you. They're too lazy to do anything.
I'm going to tell you how crazy alligators are in Florida, dude. They have a hunting season every year, and they're only allowed to kill X amount of gators. Well, they hit that quota within a couple hours with these rednecks down here.
Yeah,
And
Really?
it still does nothing about the population of alligators.
yeah. There's a road near Miami called Alligator Alley.
Where
If you drive down
literally-
it,
they're like
both
speed
sides
bumps.
are full of alligators.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it's
Alligator
almost like
Alley.
the I Spy with the kids. You could point them out like as you're driving.
Yeah.
But to go back to Gangs in New York, I also love that scene where they show the boxing on the pier and they're all betting, and you hear the announcer say the 35th round or something like
That's
that.
what I
Like,
said. The 37th round. That was
those
pretty
guys
crazy.
were beating the living shit out of each other, man. Like their faces were hamburger meat. But like, and God knows they probably got paid like $5 for that
Right.
shit. Like, you know what I mean?
The butcher was actually into bare knuckle boxing. That's where that scene kind of
Right.
comes from, because that was his
Yeah, because he had a hand in everything.
thing. Hmm.
Like I said,
But he was like a really good boxer.
yeah, you could tell because he's whooping some ass in that movie.
Right.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is. Like I said, I haven't seen all of his movies, so I guess I can't say outright. But this is my favorite movie he's in.
This seems to be one that most people bring up. Do you think, like, without him, this film would be worth watching?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a
Victor.
really good question, because he steals so many scenes. If you let's say we replaced it with somebody, just pick somebody that's not, whatever.
Well,
Vince
that's not
Vaughn.
exactly fair, though.
I know it's not fair, but what if they did pick somebody else that's not Daniel Day-Lewis? Like, would you like this movie as much?
Well, I guess my question was: is it somebody as good, or is it just Joe Blow?
That's what I was thinking. Like, you don't want to put Gary Oldman because it would just be just as good,
He'd
if
kill
not
it, yeah.
better. But if you put Joe Blow in it, like, I
It
don't know.
ruins the movie, man.
I'm thinking John Travolta Moose. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh wow, dude! Did you see that episode, dude?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that was a tough one. That was a tough watch.
I kind of liked the film, not gonna lie.
Really? I mean, don't get me wrong. There was
In a weird way.
Well, that's the thing I had. I had so many people like trashing the movie, and then I watched it and I'm like, it's not a great movie.
but it's not the worst movie.
It's not the worst movie I've ever
for sure.
seen. Like, it's a terrible story. Like, it's fucking idiotic. But like
Yeah.
the production value, the acting, like, wasn't terrible.
I ain't gonna lie. A movie, you see that, and I had to go check John Travolta's net worth just to make sure he was still rich, because that seems like Devin Sawa in that movie makes complete sense. Man.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You know, that guy just had to work at Wendy's that day, so that makes sense that he could go do that movie on the side. But Travolta's like, bro, you got an Oscar, dude. What are you doing?
Right.
Like,
He's still getting royalties for Pulp Fiction.
I mean, I don't know.
He's been in some real shit lately, though. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen his recent films, but whoo,
I've like heard of them, but it's like nothing has made me want to go rent it.
It's like year by year, he's literally little bit by little bit turning into Nicolas Cage, like just doing straight B movie after B movie.
Hey, I think Nick Cage is doing some good ones. Mandy.
That's
he did
true.
Color Out of
He's
Space.
he's on the
Colorado's
come up. He's on the come up.
Yeah, thank you, Victor, for defending me because
I would rather watch Ghost Rider 4.
Did you watch Color Out of Space, Victor?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it and tell
Is it
Nick
pretty
how
good?
great- It's pretty good. Are you into horror? Like, is that your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might like it then.
You into thriller sci-fi movies that make no fucking sense?
I definitely am. So it should be up my alley for sure.
Yeah, you might enjoy it.
Oh yeah, y'all love it then.
But yeah, I don't know. I think without Day-Lewis, like it's still a good, I think more than good movie.
Right, because Leonardo DiCaprio does fine.
Right.
He doesn't
Mhm.
like steal the show or anything. He's just kind of like a really good actor in a, you know,
Like I said, this was a big step for him as an actor. I feel like, because like I said, it's like his first tough role, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
and
don't think
Cameron
this.
Diaz doesn't like steal
No,
the show.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's barely noticeable in it, man. I
Right.
called her Kirsten Dunst. That's how bad she was.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say, yeah, I probably wouldn't even give a shit.
I probably wouldn't have toughed
I would
it
have
out.
watched it because it was Scorsese, but that would have been it, like a one-time thing.
Right, I wouldn't tough it out because you always know Daniel Day-Lewis is about to come up or come into the scene and steal the show. So yeah,
That movie's how I felt about The Dark Knight before The Dark Knight, because in The Dark Knight, I love Heath Ledger's Joker so much that I don't care about Batman, and you know how much I love Batman.
right.
Mm.
Like,
That's a good analogy too, because like without Heath Ledger, like it would have been good, but like it wouldn't have been.
and
as
to
good.
bring it back full circle, that's also why you love Goodfellas so much, because that's the first movie that I can remember that I was rooting for the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to win.
Mhm.
you
Well,
know?
that's what the whole movie is about. Bad guys.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But like, that's movies like that is what's so great about
oh, I
it.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
And that's what makes you love Daniel Day-Lewis, because sometimes the villain is so great that it
Mhm.
makes you not care about the hero.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I think if I was just, I don't know if I would be. I mean, this was kind of one that I was interested in seeing, but not like jumping to the gun to watch it. Like I probably wouldn't have seen it for another handful of years if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah, it's
but
definitely has lesser known. Not lesser known, just lesser popular, I guess.
Out of his movies, for sure.
for sure. But I still think the story is fairly interesting, and I just love a good story that kind of connects over a certain amount of years, and you can kind of see this like growth over time with characters, and plus too with that rivalry the two leads have. I think that's in itself good enough for me.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it, but you blew my mind with that question, because you're right. Without Daniel Day-Lewis, I don't think I give a shit.
I do like what he was saying though. Like you have this person that's being mentored by someone that killed his father.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that is a really compelling story arc. It's not as explored as much as it should be, I feel.
Mhm.
There's a
Because-
couple that you didn't know, the character was the
Oh yeah, it's like a
enemy's
twist
son.
thing.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Lucky Number 11 was like that. The
Mhm.
hitman they sent to kill him. You know what? I'm not gonna say
I was gonna
anything.
say you're just gonna spoil
I'm not
every
gonna
movie
say
while we're on this
anything, dude.
podcast.
God, I just forget that. I forgot he's so young.
Not
You should
only
go see
that,
that movie too.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say about villains. Like
Mhm.
DiCaprio picked up stuff from Day-Lewis in this movie, because when you watch Django Unchained, he's not in that movie long, but he plays a great villain, an
Mm.
amazing villain in that movie. Like, that's one of my favorite roles from him, man, because he was in that movie for maybe 25 minutes and you hate him. That's how good he is.
right?
Like, you just
For
hate
sure.
him in the movie.
And they have the scene wherever he cuts his hand, but he tells
Oh,
Quentin
yeah.
Tarantino to keep going,
And if that
even
ain't,
though he's like bleeding to death.
and if that ain't Daniel Day-Lewis method, baby, I don't know what is.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything you like? I think you guys kind of touched on what you guys didn't like about the film, but I guess maybe to reiterate, what is something that you didn't like about this film?
I guess, like you said in the beginning, Nick, like it could have been trimmed down a little bit because it is really long,
Yeah, that's what I
like
was gonna say. That's
unnecessarily. Like,
what I was thinking when I watched it last. I was just like, God, I forgot.
but
how
he's
bad
trying to
this thing
fit. He's trying to
drags.
fit so much in, and he's trying to fit so many historical plot points. Like, if he would have trimmed the fat a little bit and really focused on like two elements,
Right.
like the gangs and the
Just City Hall, like that. Or
right, like stop trying to cram so much into this movie. It would have been a little more like accessible.
it almost felt like
Mhm.
he was grandstanding on the way to the end zone. Like he's like, I did all this, and guess what? The Civil War's going on too. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
Yeah.
But that was true too. When Irish came in to New York, they just sent him in a line to sign up for the army because they didn't know any better.
Fun fact, it took 5 years to be a citizen, but if you signed up to be in the army, it only took 1 year.
Yeah, well, that's a big incentive. It's got nothing.
Yeah.
When they get off a boat, they got nothing. Yeah, like I said, there are great things about this movie. Not just Daniel Day-Lewis, but like I said, I really just did not enjoy Cameron Diaz in this movie. I think she has other good movies.
Really though, like think about Cameron Diaz. Like
she's more of a comedian, like a comedian to me. Like I don't know, she's got a couple serious roles that I like, but I like her humor more than I like her.
because she's really well known, but I really can't think of like a handful of movies that I love her in. Like
I
The
love
Mask, she's more of a pretty face. She's not like a great character.
that was
She's
just
not
like
a
her-
developed character.
Yeah,
Bad Teacher was funny.
yeah, I like that, but I like it more because of Jason. What's his face? How I Met Your Mother. You know, Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it more because of him. I think he makes that movie
Right.
better.
She's a well-known actress, but I can't think of anything that I like love her in.
Same.
Well, I like her in Any Given Sunday. That the Charlie's Angels, I didn't like those.
Right.
Sweetest Thing, you ever see that with her and oh man.
What's the Ben
Thomas
Stiller
Jane.
movie?
Oh yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Victor. Yeah, Thomas Jane and I'm trying to think of the Christine Applegate. The Sweetest Thing. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, I see.
You're talking about
where she rubs the cum in her hair.
Something About Mary.
Something About Mary.
Yeah. That movie's hilarious, man.
Right.
Fairly Brothers movie.
I liked her as Fiona and Shrek, I guess.
Yeah, she was pretty
she
good.
did a great job of the voice acting. Yeah.
Other than that,
Like I said, I guess I could take her or leave her, but that's one of the points of the movie. If you would have went for a better actress, maybe it makes it better.
But she didn't have a whole lot to do.
You didn't really care about the love interest in this one.
Yeah.
Her most
You could have taken her out and you wouldn't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
really been a big deal.
her most useful plot point in this was when Daniel Day-Lewis pops up for that great scene and he's in bed with her
Mhm.
because like scared because like holy shit, I just saved this dude. Is he gonna kill me now? Did he find out who I am,
Mhm.
or is he mad because I got her? Because like it makes it seem like she's his,
right.
But yeah, other than that, I'm like you. I don't really see a useful purpose for her to be in it. You know what I mean?
What about you? What didn't you not like about the movie?
I think as well the love interest with Cameron Diaz, I didn't really care all too much. I mean, it didn't rope me in or anything.
Yeah, it didn't like add anything to the movie.
It didn't. It slowed it down so many points.
He could have trimmed, just take the love interest out, trimmed a lot down.
Right.
Hey,
It would have been just fine between the two, their dynamic, Day-Lewis and DiCaprio. But other than that, like some slow stuff, but mostly that love interest thing going on was just the weakest part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have anything else you want to add to the film? Anything else you want to say?
I don't have anything to say about the film, but I do feel it deserves a little bit more praise. Like, I think people need to go and rewatch it, appreciate it as a film, not a historical piece. But when you were asking about what movies you wanted to do, and I brought up this movie, I wanted to ask your opinion. Like, how do you feel about historical movies? Do you think they should be based on real events and don't stray too far? Or do you think they should take liberties, kind of like Scorsese did with this film?
I mean, it can be a little annoying when things are fabricated or made up. But then again, it's like, it's a movie, it's entertainment. Yes, it can be educational. But I think if you really want to learn about a subject, Google it, go to a wiki page, do some research yourself. It's cool to get some, to be able to be told a story that is historically accurate. But it's never going to be 100%.
Well, the truth is that sometimes history is boring. Like 300. No, seriously though.
No,
look
that's
at the
fair.
movie 300. There was not actually 300 guys. They would have got their ass killed. I don't care how badass they are.
Yeah,
it's more like 3,000, but 300 sounds more badass.
Right.
And then you get Gerard Butler and 30 other dudes that are just chiseled cut, dude. And then they go out there and kick some ass. And then Zack Snyder gets these Batman movies. You know what I mean?
Horrible Batman movies, but hey, he gets to do it.
Hey, be fair. Be fair.
Snyder cut.
Snyder cut, baby.
I
We're
really
super
didn't.
excited about it over here, man. I don't know how y'all feel about comic book movies, but
I thought Justice League was all right, but I'm kind of on this Snyder train a little bit, so I'm probably not going to watch the Snyder cut, but I'm curious if it's any better
it's got to be.
because that teaser was kind of sick, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
We're doing an episode for every part.
We're gonna devote a whole month to just watching the Snyder Cut. We're gonna talk about each episode. That's the plan anyway. So
It just sounds so good when you say it, man.
yeah,
I'm so
How many
too.
episodes are there going to be?
4.
Oh,
this
4.
winter
Okay.
sale, it's gonna be 4.
Yep.
And if this does well enough, we might get a Justice League 2 on HBO Max.
Suicide Squad cut.
Oh man, Air cut. That would be so good.
Oh yeah.
I watched Tax Collector. No, actually, I bought it.
Oh, I have heard things about
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I felt. Yeah, I wanted to love it so much.
Oh my god, that trailer! I didn't watch it, but after you
God,
telling me
It's
about
the worst trailer since fucking Terminator Salvation, man.
Right.
Is it really that bad?
No, it sells you on it. Like it just sells you on
Yeah,
it so much, man.
because he
Oh.
tells me, he's like, you should watch Tax Collector. So I watched the trailer. I'm like, oh, it's like a Shia LaBeouf movie. He's like, Shia LaBeouf's barely in it, but he's in the
They
whole
Jared
trailer.
Leto'd him. They Jared Leto'd him, man. Like
Due to a technical problem, our recording program goofed up and did not include the audio here. So to make up for that, I, Victor, will tell you the ratings Greg and Nick had given for Gangs of New York. Nick gave a very specific rating of 7.2, and Greg says he recommends the film. Now, back to the rest of the episode. Yeah, I think I'll give it a 4.
5 being the best and 1 being the shit.
Yeah, 5 would be the best. I think like maybe closer to a 3.5. I don't think I could bring it any higher than a 4. It is definitely underappreciated. Sure, it is very slow and some things aren't fantastic, but Scorsese's craft's on full display. It's a very interesting and dense story. There's a lot of characters, a lot of plot points. There's a lot going on, and of course, Daniel Day-Lewis, he steals every scene. Yeah, I think I would definitely recommend it. It's long, but with so many of Scorsese's films, they're still entertaining, like for a majority of the runtime. So yeah, not totally historical accurate, but still, whatever.
Completely, we glazed over him. Shout out to John C. Reilly. Proved he can
Oh,
actually
right.
Yeah.
act. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's one of
sure.
the few serious roles he
you've
did.
seen him play a dumbass for so long that you're like, holy shit, he used to be in real movies too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, him and Will Ferrell didn't just like snort glue and like do movies together. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Want to dive into
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas?
Goodfellas, yeah.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Hands down, one of the best opening lines. In the
Oh
movie.
yes. Ba-na-na-na-na,
Right.
Oh, dude. I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight, bro.
Just like Gangs, it's a long movie, but with this one especially, you don't feel it, man. You don't feel it. It's just like
That's what I was just gonna say. That's the difference between his good movies and his great movies. Is 2.5 hours flew by like nothing.
yeah.
I enjoyed every second of it.
Like I watched it before this pot when we started recording, and I'm like, dude, I could watch it again, honestly. Like,
Yeah, just start it all over again.
yeah, this is only my second time seeing this film too. First time I saw it was back in I think 2018, 2017. I think you guys already kind of said why it was your favorite, right?
Why it's my favorite, I don't know. Let's just dive into that a little bit
Yeah.
more because like you were saying, Nick, it's one of Martin Scorsese's like best movie that he's done. Everyone's putting on their A game. It's his best like script, and it's based on a true story. I'm not familiar on how much of this is true. You might be able to tell us, Nick.
Good bit of it.
Okay.
A good bit of it is actually, yeah.
The biggest discrepancy to me is they make it seem like Paulie's the boss of the family
Mhm.
when in real life he was just a capo. He was like a lieutenant,
Oh,
like a mid management guy.
Right.
He ran that crew, but he didn't run the entire crime family. And they kind of make it seem like he runs that entire family, but he really
I see what you're
doesn't.
saying. Yeah.
But yeah, but other than that's like the biggest thing I can tell. And the fact that this is actually a fun fact. We do these on our show, fun facts. But the guy that Joe Pesci plays in real life, Tommy DePistone,
Mhm.
he was like 6'2". It was a monster of a man.
oh wow.
So he imposed, he scared people because of his size. But that's how great Joe Pesci played this role, that at 5'4", he still scared the shit out of people.
Right. I love that scene whenever he's like,
What do you mean I'm funny?
exactly. You know exactly what I'm
classic.
talking about. I love that scene.
No, you tell me, Henry. You said it.
You think I'm a fucking clown? I'm here to amuse you.
Yeah.
I love that scene because not only does it end there when he's ending on the joke, he's like, "Oh, I'm just fucking with you," but then that waiter comes in and kind of starts breaking his balls,
yeah.
and then like it just like escalates even more. That scene's just like, it'll live on forever.
It's beautiful. It
Yeah.
really is. Hey, sorry to bother you, Tony. I'm talking to you in front of your friends. Yeah, sir, no problem. What's up? So, the kid doesn't want to come over here. He says, you don't want to pay the check. He said, oh, it's no problem. Just tell him to put it on my tab. Well, that's what I came to talk to you about, Tony. It's not a couple $100. It's 10 fucking grand here. So as he's saying it, he's slowly wrapping his tie in his hand.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what, you motherfucking mutt, you know how much money we spend in this fucking place?
You're going to embarrass me in front of my friends?
Embarrass me in front of my friends. And he takes a fucking bottle and smashes it over his face.
Yeah.
And then the waiter doesn't know what the fuck to do. So he's like, what the fuck are you looking at? And throws the fucking thing at him, like tray full of dishes at him. Like it's.
And then my wife said something great, and she's like, and then he did Home Alone.
I love him in that.
Right.
I love him in that.
But it's like a.
Oh yeah, it's way different. It's different. Like, wow, would you follow up that Academy Award-winning performance? Well, actually, he followed it up with Casino.
Yeah.
Won another Oscar.
But you know what I mean.
What would Home Alone be if he played Tommy in Home Alone?
I don't know why we're gonna delve into Home Alone real quick. Fun fact about Home Alone: Joe Pesci didn't know how to not cuss. That's why he does the mumbling, because he couldn't stop cussing. And the director's like, "It's a family film. Stop cussing." He's like, "I don't know how." He just came off of fucking Goodfellas.
I hope I'm rich enough one day that, because there's a B-roll laying around Fox somewhere that's just Joe Pesci saying, I'm going to kill this fucking kid. Oh, right. Wait. Oh, sorry, everybody. I ruined the take again. God damn. Oh, sorry. I did it again.
That's exactly what happened.
Dude, like, there's 45 minutes of that shit somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Like, I would pay good money to see that shit, dude. Macaulay Culkin doing the whole face slap, dude. He said that. Like, that would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Home Alone, the uncut version.
I don't know. When was the first time you watched Goodfellas? Like, how did you come across this movie?
My father showed me this movie when I was 9 years old.
That was your initiation.
Yeah. This was the first gangster movie I ever watched. This was the first Scorsese movie I ever watched. This was the first great movie I ever watched, in my opinion. I don't remember any movies before this. Like I said, I feel like this is his masterpiece.
Yeah.
You can't. There's not a wasted frame, and there's nothing that they can change about it.
It's a perfect film.
Exactly, and that's hard to say
for sure
in this day and age. And if they ever remade this movie, I would
That's
I
just
would go to
sacrilege
prison.
to say it. Yeah.
I go to prison.
I don't know. I was actually later in life when I saw this one. I didn't grow up with gangster films. I watched this like probably when I was like 19 or 20 because my friends like, "You never seen Goodfellas?" Like, what's wrong with you? So I made sure I went and watched it.
Yeah, I loved it. And like I said, and then the older I've gotten, like I said, I watch it. I'd say the longest I'll go without seeing it's probably 2-3 months.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, man. I love this movie. I watch it a lot, dude.
Wow.
So many life lessons to learn.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It's just one of those movies. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in. You can always watch it.
Yeah.
At least for me. Anyway.
Like you said, if it's on TV, it's just, you gotta just leave it on and watch it.
Sometimes
Finish
it's hilarious watching them try to edit Joe Pesci. You freaking guy. You break your freaking neck. Stuff like that. That's hilarious.
Something that like Scorsese's films get a lot of controversy over is whether or not it seems like he's glorifying a lot of the violence or morally wrong characters in his films, like especially with Wolf of Wall Street, and even Goodfellas. Do you guys think like the way he films these films, he's like glorifying these actions in any way?
I will take a page out of Quentin Tarantino. You go to the movies to have fun. We don't want to watch these bad guys be like boring. We want to watch them and root for them.
Mm.
So he is glorifying it, but that's kind of the point, is
Right.
for entertainment purposes. Martin Scorsese isn't making this movie because he's giving a how to be a gangster like
He's showing you
film.
that there's highs, but the lows are
brutal.
Right. He's just giving us entertainment. Like, yes, it is glorified like crime, but that's what makes it so fun.
When I was younger and I would watch it, it always kind of made me feel like it was one of those movies to show you why organized crime was a joke. Because it's that scene where he's in the diner with De Niro and De Niro's just talking and he's not even listening. He's just talking in his head. And he's like, because it's always your best friend that comes to kill you.
Yeah.
He goes, you never see it coming. You go into a room and you never come out, you know? And I always took that as like, you know, you could be friends with somebody, you could think you've known them for years, you know, but you never know what some people are like behind closed doors, you know?
Right.
And I don't know. Like I said, that's why I love it, because it's got so many life lessons in it. Like, it just teaches you to not be a sucker.
Yeah, I think a majority of mob films, and even like Sopranos, even there's always like within like their family structure, there is a lot to take from it and a lot to learn. And yeah, like while all these characters aren't great people, there's still like, you know, things that you can latch on to, certain messages and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know if I would say like he like, because it's weird because it's such a stylish movie. I could see why people think he's putting the violence into a good light, but good God, there's so many bad things that happen. It's clear that this lifestyle isn't good for anyone, really. I mean, especially that whole like
absolutely.
aftermath section of the film. It's like it's just nothing but you know, being hooked on drugs. It's.
I think the worst messages it sends is you can do 30 years of crime, and if you tell on everybody, you can live a great life out in Arizona or Wyoming or wherever the fuck the FBI sends you to.
I mean, that happened recently, Takashi.
Oh, I'm saying though, like, you know what I mean? But Henry Hill lived to be 78 years old, dude.
Yeah.
He'd go out in public towards the end, he didn't give a fuck. Like, I think he died of throat cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
they did. Nobody showed up for it. His
own
funeral.
kids, nothing, man.
I think Martin Scorsese does a good job of showing the ramifications. I don't want to give away too much on Casino because you haven't seen it, but he does a good job of showing like if you live this lifestyle, like it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass.
It only ends one of three ways, man.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you can live this lifestyle. It's gonna be great for a little bit, but eventually it's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's actually one thing that really kind of upset me when The Irishman came out, when people were just saying, "Oh, it's just another mob film. Like it's just, you know, Goodfellas 2," when like it really wasn't at all.
No.
I did want to touch on something you said. I don't remember what episode we were talking about that, but we were talking about gangster movies and how we feel like there's not enough gangster, like it's kind of a dying genre. And you're like, oh no, it's another gangster film. Some of us, that's what we want. We just want gangster films. Like we don't care how you're spoon feeding it to us. That's just what we mess with.
Show me some good wax.
Right, exactly. And like all of the whole comic book movie thing, it's a good guy saving the day. Like how many times are you gonna watch that? Like
every time.
Exactly. That's what you like. I like gangster movies. I want to see the same story over and over. I don't care.
You know, I will say this, that like sometimes they do fall into that repetitive, you know what I mean?
They do, but there are some stories like what was that one?
Eastern Promises.
Oh my God,
you
so
take
good.
I haven't seen that.
Organized crime that you haven't seen 100 different times. This was about the Russian mob.
Yeah, so
I didn't know anything about the Russian mob. After I watched that movie, I went and Googled Russian mafia for while, because I just went down that rabbit hole.
Eastern Promises, a guy goes undercover into the Russian mob. He gets so deep that he can't get back out of the Russian mob. It's such a great film.
Oh damn.
Check it out.
So he just tries to take it over. It's awesome.
Yeah. But I was thinking about Gangster Squad. Like that wasn't a great movie,
right?
But I was still entertained because
Sean Penn killed it.
That's the kind of like movies I want to watch. So even like the shitty ones, Killing Them Softly.
I'll deal with a couple ants to get oh wow.
Exactly.
You didn't like Killing Them Softly?
We actually like
we love it, but it's not
I would say the majority of the world does not enjoy that movie.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
But I love the kills in it. The kills for me
make
it.
Dude, they're pretty fucking good.
Great dialogue too. Very underappreciated dialogue in that movie too. Good characters. Yeah, I liked it, you know. the bar scene. This is another one of the greatest scenes in cinema history.
I was actually thinking about that because he asked like, what's our favorite scene, and I think the bar scene is probably one of my favorites.
Hey Tommy, how you doing? All big all the town. Come over here, let me see. Hey, watch the suit. Watch the suit. Yeah, watch the suit, you little shit. Come here. I missed you.
Like, come over, you want to shine my shoes?
No, he
The fuck
says,
you mean,
oh,
shine
man.
my shoes?
no, he goes, you know, back in the day they called him Spit Shine Tommy. This kid make your shoes look like fucking mirrors. He made a lot of good money. You know, salute, Tommy. No more shines, Billy. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know you've been gone a long time. They probably didn't go there and tell you, but I don't shine shoes no more. Hey, what are you doing? Get fresh? I'm fucking busting your balls. I ain't seen you in a long time. He said, no, sometimes people don't understand that, you know. You kidding, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm sorry too. If I was disrespecting you, I'd tell you to go home and get your shine box.
But that's another good thing that he was saying. Like, you could say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and you're gonna fucking lose your life. Like,
Now go home and get your fucking shine box. And he just goes off, dude.
Dude, anytime someone gives Pesci shit in the film, it's just like instant, like, oh fuck, like what's gonna happen? Like, because this guy just goes off the handle.
That's how that
Oh,
guy
yeah?
was, and that's
Really?
what led to his downfall. He was all emotion. He was all, you know, raw emotion. He didn't think things out. That's what Jimmy was. Jimmy was the brains. Henry was a hustler. You know, he knew the angles, ways to make money, and Tommy was the muscle. Tommy did the killing. That's just how they did it. But yeah, the Tommy has the best. That's why he got the Academy Award, because like I don't even think about supporting actor as an actual Academy Award until you mention people like him, and you know.
yeah,
For sure. Like, even though I've seen this film before, Tommy's death is still very surprising. Because, like, you know, when they kill bats, you know something is going to come from that, but it's not really mentioned all too much up until that point, really. It's kind of like buried.
Yeah, they mention
And
it once. Paulie
Yeah.
mentions it to Henry once after, and then it's kind of like it goes away.
But then it's like, no, dude, he killed a made man. Like, his time's going to come. Like, and they're not going to just say, I'm going to kill you, like they mentioned in the film. That's just going to...
yeah, exactly.
Well, a fun fact about that is actually based on a real person. Billy Batts was actually a close friend of John Gotti's, and John Gotti is supposedly the one that killed Tommy, not his own family. But they said
really?
that it was John Gotti's like best friend growing up, and he wanted revenge, and that's why they gave Tommy up to him, because you know he killed a made guy and he wasn't made. So how do you get him in close so he's not worried about it? He's not running, because the real life Tommy, like I said, was a brute. He's a big guy. People feared him. So you kind of had to coax him into it. You know what I mean? You couldn't make it seem like you were going to go after him, because he might take you out. You tell him he's going to be made, he's getting his button, and you walk him into a room, and like I said, he doesn't walk out, you know, right to the back of the head. That's how a lot of mob killings do. They put it right behind your ear, and that bullet, small caliber, will just roll around in your head till you die, and it's not a lot of class, like a lot of mess. You know, if you kill him with a bigger bullet, it's a lot of brain matter.
Scared of you right now.
I'm sorry, bro. I watch a lot of crime.
You know too much.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of forensic shit. I like it. It's
For
interesting
sure.
to me.
Did you give your favorite scenes, Greg?
Favorite scene. I think it would have to be the one he said. The bar scene was so good to me. Or the you think I'm a joke to you? Like, it's such a good scene. Like,
yeah.
it really speaks to like his character. Like, you're never sure where he stands, even as like, because they grew up together, and he still wasn't sure if he should take him serious or not. And I thought that was a really powerful scene.
You could like see nervousness on Ray Liotta's face. Like,
right.
Like, he didn't know if Joe Pesci was going to hit him or not.
Exactly. You know? And I thought that was a really powerful scene, because that character's so like off the handle that you're like, I don't know if he's joking or what. That was a good scene too.
And I also wonder sometimes when I watch it, how many like those classic scenes, were they done one takes? You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good question.
It's so great. It makes you wonder, like, there's no way they just knocked it out of the park every time.
Right.
Or did they just know, like, man, this is going to be that movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But
I think people just try their best and give their best performance, and it adds up after a while. You know what I mean?
I say the bar scene is my favorite scene. Like literally every part of this movie could be my favorite because there's just so many great little things. The part where he's going through the nightclub and he's introducing the entire crew.
Oh, I love it.
You got Pete the Killer. Hey, I took care of that thing for you. You got Nicky Eyes. He's got these thick ass glasses. Say, how you doing, guy?
Johnny Two Time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get the papers. Get the papers. It's just great.
Dude, that scene's so good.
And then the way De Niro intimidates people in this movie, like after they do the Lufthansa heist and everybody's coming with their new stuff, and he told, "What are you fucking stupid? I told you don't buy anything big. What if you buys a brand new fucking Cadillac, the other with a $10,000 meat coat? What am I fucking? Am I deaf? Are you deaf? Like, I don't care where you take it.
What's
Get
the
it
matter
out
with you?
You get it out of here."
God, talking about this makes me want to watch Casino so bad. I'm gonna watch Casino tomorrow.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a scene, it'd probably be the funny house scene. But yeah, like you said, Nick, there's just too many scenes that are just stand out and great. There's really not a weak link in this film. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong I can think of. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a perfectly done film. Like, there's no scene that I'm like, I wish this wasn't in there. Another good one is whenever the guy pushes the girl out of the car, and then he drives her to the house. He takes the butt of his gun and just beats the shit out. Like, I feel like he really hit that guy. Martin Scorsese's like, just go for it.
Like even the guy was like, "Bro, I don't even care, bro. Just hit me."
Right. That was like, nothing really happened. I just felt scared for the guy.
And I love the narration.
The narration's so good.
It's great.
It is really good.
A lot of girls who I know would freak out if their boyfriend gave them the gun to hide. I can't lie. Turn me on. Everybody wants that love, man.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
dangerous love. You know what I mean?
And that's what goes back to what he was saying. Like, people talk about how this glorifies crime, but that's the
kind of
fun.
the point.
That's the fun. Like, we're not going to go out and be criminals. We just want the thrill of being
everybody. You know what? We talked about it with Mick here, and I said, "What do you think it would be hard?" Because I know he's an actor friend of ours, and he's been in some movies, and he plays a sheriff. And I said, "Do you like playing heroes, or would you rather play a villain?" And he said that he's always been more of a guy that gets his guy, and
no matter what,
he likes playing that character more. And I said, yes, playing the hero feels good, but everybody wants to play the villain.
Yeah.
Because that's a life because you're a good person, you don't want to be like that.
Exactly.
Being a villain's sexier, you know?
Yeah. Sure. And that's what we get from movies is we get to like experience what it's like to be the villain.
Yeah.
Without actually like ruining our lives.
Exactly. So these kind of things need to be made, you know, for us normal people who won't see a film like this and be like, you know what, that's the lifestyle I want.
Right.
Right.
Like, I would love to be what's his name from Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's character. Like, I would love to stand up against the establishment and call them out on all their bullshit, but you know, I got a wife to feed, so I can't.
Yeah, you can't pull your soapbox out when the mortgages due.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you dislike about the film?
I'm a hard fuck no, but
a hard fuck no.
Greg might have something wrong with it.
After rewatching it, like, it's hard to like.
I was gonna say, before you say anything, just know our friendship hangs in the balance of what you said. So.
Nah, I mean, like I said, it's almost like a perfect film.
And it's hard, like, and you know what? I couldn't even think of 3 other movies that I feel like are a perfect movie.
Right. I can usually nitpick a movie, but this one, like, every scene has its purpose. Every dialogue has its purpose. It's, I don't know, it's a damn near perfect film.
You real deal just feel like you're just watching this guy's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like you're just a fly on the wall in every room he's ever in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, perfect movie over here.
Yeah.
Literally, I really can't think of anything wrong.
And you've seen it twice, so like we've been there to nitpick it. If there was something that I feel like we would have found it by now. But.
Yeah, and I usually don't like to call a film like perfect. And I usually never do, even if I love the film.
Right.
But I just, in my own mind, I can't find any flaws or anything that I really disliked.
I think it's pretty cool that being the age you are, like I said, most of the people that I know that are around your age, they're more like my movie taste. They want big explosion, you know, big action movies and like you know, blockbusters. Because I'm Mr. Blockbuster. You know, Greg will say, take my money. You know, like if it's shiny and something I haven't seen before, I'm gonna be in line for it.
For sure.
But think that it's awesome that y'all watch all these different types of films and you don't just box yourself in. And that's something that I have picked up doing this podcast with Greg, because there's movies that he's given me that I would have never watched if he hadn't made me. But I actually somewhat enjoy some of them now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Primer, with our last episode, Primer, that's
Yeah.
probably one of the best movies he's given me yet.
Yeah, just based off your description of what films you like, I'm surprised that you did like Primer, but I'm
I
glad
was-
you did, because it's a
I
pretty
was
great
super
film.
surprised too. I was watching it. I was ready for him to like give me some shit about it, but he was like, "You know what? I really liked it." And I'm like, "You just blew my mind."
I guess we could wrap up Goodfellas. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to say about it?
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I'm gonna give it a fucking 11, dude.
Yeah, right. It's the best of the best. It's gonna be on everyone's favorite film.
That's
Like,
the highest rating I've ever given on any show,
yeah,
ours included.
right,
It's a fucking 11.
right. Buy it on Blu-ray, buy it on 4K, buy it on DVD.
Yes.
It's one of the best movies ever made. So you're really into like the art house, like indie scene.
Yeah, I mean, I try to definitely branch out to any genre. I'm not really a stickler, but yeah, definitely more like drama, sci-fi, independent. I don't know. I try to watch a lot of things.
Yeah.
I like to go on Amazon Prime and watch a lot of like really bad films on there, because there's I don't know if you guys have
Place
browsed
to
Amazon
find them. They're
Prime.
on Netflix, boy. They're
No,
the king.
Tubi.
They are the king of B movies on
Tubi
Netflix.
is the king of B movies.
Oh.
Tubi?
Yeah. It's an,
Oh yeah, I have Tubi.
yeah. If you
I just thought about that.
download it on PlayStation or whatever
it's
you have,
free,
Roku,
yeah.
it's free, and it has
Uh-huh.
like all bad movies that you can imagine.
It's like all this TV. It's like 6 shows.
Yeah, I think if you're starting up a new streaming service, it's just like you better have the good stuff.
Right. Or have a niche like I know Tubi has their like B movies, and that's what they like. The hill that they die on is like B movies, but yeah, there's so many
Oh.
streaming services.
You guys are gonna have to watch. Okay, you should put this in your box. It's on Tubi. It's
What-
called Love on a Leash.
Love on a Leash. I love it already.
It's on Tubi. I see. You want me to give you the synopsis?
Yeah, go ahead.
A lonely, homeless golden retriever magically transforms into a human man when he gets taken in by a romantic woman who falls in love with him.
Wow.
It slaps.
Yeah, it's definitely going in the
He
box.
said it slaps.
It's it's so
The Victor
it's
sucked
it's
with it.
it's
Hell
on
yeah.
another level. It's on another level. Like
Add to watch list, definitely.
it
I
is so
gotta-
bad, but it's endlessly entertaining.
I gotta ask you this question, man, because I ask everybody from somewhere that's not from here. Do
Yeah.
we sound like Hicks?
What the fuck?
No, because I always
You
wonder
sound
that.
like a hick.
Because I always wonder if like because I don't think we have any kind of like draws or anything like that. But some people feel like, oh, y'all talk like y'all are fucking farmers. So I always wonder that. They're like, do we sound like we're Hicks? Like we're from down
God.
south?
No, I don't think you guys sound like Hicks. I think Nick, you definitely have like a strong accent. I think you do have kind of a drawl on it from what I
Yeah,
can
you
hear.
sound like a fucking redneck.
Do I?
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah, I think you guys both have an accent. But no, I wouldn't say hick.
Where are you from? I know you're from the West, but where?
Yeah, because when I asked him, I was like, "Do you know where these dudes are from?" He was like, "I have no idea." I said, "Apparently the West. That's a pretty big area. I don't know where that is."
China?
I'm from Washington.
Oh, okay.
Oh hell yeah, man! I had an aunt that lived in Washington for a while.
Okay, yeah.
She stayed in Tacoma.
Okay, yeah. I'm like 20 minutes north of Seattle. We
Oh,
all are.
sweet.
So
You know what was great about Seattle? The Sonics, dude.
Sonics?
yeah.
The Supersonics, bro. The NBA team,
You say that like I care.
bro. I have a Sean Kemp jersey right now in my closet. I love the Rain Man.
How are we friends? I don't get it.
Because I wouldn't leave you alone.
Yeah, we have like a new hockey team, I believe.
Oh yeah, I was excited about that. Yeah, y'all get one.
Krakens or something.
Yeah, that's cool. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's
like
cool.
I don't really follow the sports. I'm not a sports guy, so
Yeah,
Did
me
you know
either,
that
but he
Drew
still talks to
Carey-
me like I am.
Did you know that Drew Carey owns the Seattle Sounders?
Did
You
he
know,
really?
soccer team?
Does he really?
He does. He's a majority owner.
Wow.
I don't think I knew that. Some guy on the East Coast is teaching me about
Sports.
Washington, my own city's culture. I think I don't have any more to say about Goodfellas.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. What was your rating?
Yeah, you said
Oh.
1 to 5, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a 5.
Hell yeah, dude.
Easy 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen this, whoever's listening, you gotta do it.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
essential. It doesn't matter if you're movie head or what. Like it's just an essential film.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for sure. It's definitely a bucket list film.
Yeah.
You got to watch this before you go.
I think before you can watch any movies, you got to watch Goodfellas and then start your movie journey.
Yeah,
It's initiation.
Initiation film. Yeah.
Usually we ask the audience for questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let me just pull up a few that I had. This one is from Cinema Flavor. Shout out Cinema Flavor. We had them on last episode. They ask, what's a movie you can't finish watching?
We actually just talked about it before, and I haven't finished it because of that. There Will Be Blood.
Oh, okay.
I get like halfway through this movie and I shut it off because I'm like, I'm so bored. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, I love you, but god damn it.
Oh man, okay.
I'm racking my brain, trying to think, because like most of the time I always make it. You know what? I got it. Gods and Generals.
What?
It's a 4.5 hour snooze fest, bro. You like the Civil War? You want a 4-hour movie about the Civil War?
No.
Oof.
Neither did America. That felt like they were back there. That's how long that movie was. I cleaned a movie theater when I was a kid that this movie was in the theater when it was there, and 3 people would show up every night, so I couldn't clean the theater because somebody was in there. But we would leave and come back in the morning because it wouldn't end till 3 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I remember. Like I made it through about 2 hours of it, and every day I'd get up and go do something.
That's sad when you work at a movie theater and you go and do your job instead of watching the movie because it's so boring.
Yeah, and it was free.
Oh man. I usually try to finish films as well, but the last one I didn't finish was it was called A Field in England.
Never heard of it.
It's supposed to be, it's a 17th century, takes place in 17th century England. It's supposed to be kind of like this very trippy, kind of artsy war film. But the editing was just so obnoxious. I just had to turn it off. I was like, dude, I can't do this. It's supposed to be pretty good, but yeah, I just couldn't do it. Okay, let's see. 206 Cinema. Shout out, what the hell is Joe? Joe's his name. He was also on an episode.
Nice.
He asks, what is your favorite Scorsese film?
I think we know that.
Yeah.
No. Mine is.
Oh, yours is Casino.
No, mine is not Casino. Mine is Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
He's a big Travis Bickle guy.
Yeah, I am.
He's got a picture in Halloween one year. He dressed up as him. He shows everybody we meet this picture. Yeah, one year at Halloween, I was the guy from Taxi Driver.
I would say you're full of shit, but
you do.
Halloween just passed, and I definitely showed everyone that picture.
You know, Mean Streets. I was like, that's my favorite. Damn, it's pretty great. So I would say Mean Streets. Another question by Cinema Flavor. They ask, what movie would you want to experience again?
Like for the first time?
Yeah.
I would have to go with Scott Pilgrim.
I got one for you. Predator.
Predator? Yeah.
I think I'd have to go with Interstellar. That movie just hits me every single time.
I got a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever walked out of a movie in the movie theater?
Oh,
that's a good question.
It must have been when I was really young. Because I really try to stay in the theater. Like I almost walked out of the hell was it called? I think it was called Life Itself. Other than that, I really can't think of one. There's probably one when I was really young that I got scared by. I got scared pretty easily when I was a kid. I remember seeing Spider-Man 1 for the first time with my dad.
Amazing.
And there's a scene where like, what's Willem Dafoe's character's name? Is it Harry? No, it's not Harry.
It's Norman Osborn.
Norman. He like
senior
grabs this guy by the neck in like this very quick shot of anger, and that made me terrified. And I think we left the theater. So
Willem Dafoe's face will do that to anybody.
Oh, for sure, dude. That's all I can think of, though.
I'm a foot taller than that guy, and I still wouldn't fight him.
No, not at all.
I seen you as Spider-Man 1. I ain't fuck with you.
It's the Green Goblin, bro. You don't want to die,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
Oh man.
Victor,
But-
man, we've had a blast on here.
Yeah, dude.
Man. Like, I'm glad you offered it out to us, man. It's awesome.
Of course. I'm glad you guys were on. Sorry for keeping you on so late. It's probably like 9
Oh
o'clock
man,
over
we
there,
love
right?
this shit. We do this.
No, I don't have to work. He doesn't have to work. We're cool. We're just hanging out.
Just
Right
living
on.
our best life.
Yeah.
Well, I really
Yeah,
appreciate you guys being on. I guess again, do you want to plug your channels and media, social media, whatever?
War with Cinema. You can check us out on Spotify. iTunes is probably like the best way to listen to us, but we're also on YouTube. You can see our ugly mugs. Nick, you have your channel, Part of the Collector.
I do. I have Part of the Collector, which collect a bunch of vintage memorabilia, sports stuff like that, comic books, and then I also have another podcast. It's with a friend of mine named Z Weezy. It's Weezy and Par Take It Too Far. We have a YouTube channel. We've only got one video, but you can see us on Facebook Live. We do those weekly, on Thursdays. But and also, last but never least, War with Cinema. And like Greg said, we're everywhere, man. So check us out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll make sure to post your guys' links in the description.
Absolutely.
And all that jazz. And then I guess for my listeners, just keep following us on Spotify, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you could be so kind, leave a rating, a little review if you're feeling kind, and maybe head over to War on Cinema and leave them a little review as well. We would all appreciate it. The feedback truly matters. Like, and I'm sure
Yes,
you
it
guys
does.
know it. Like, any sort of compliment or
We want to
comment.
give you what you want, but we have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for coming on, and
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
for
thanks.
real.
It was a blast.
of course. All right, see you guys.
Later, man.